Hey everybody. Hi, I'm Strash. He, him. You can find me at StrashA on the Twitters. Um, and I am excited to play Bluecoats 2 weeks in a row. So, chat, I have a very small favor to ask you, if you would please. We had some audio difficulties last time, so if you cannot hear these amazingly lovely people that are with me, please let me know so I can try and do some panicked maneuvers and fix everything as fast as possible. Otherwise, hopefully we should be ready to rock and roll. I think I fixed it between last week and this week, but I'm not 100% sure because OBS is a weird program. Lauren, please say hi and introduce yourself, and I apologize in advance if you have to do it twice.
Testing. I'm Lauren. I use she, they. I am at the Stray Kiwi on Twitter. And it was funny. I was like thinking back about where we were starting today, and I was like, oh yeah, we fought the assassin. That was super cool. Oh yeah, and like literally every faction and villain and interesting person is involved in the upcoming case. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. How about you, Judd?
I'm Judd, he, him, and yeah, I'm kind of intimidated by this case, which I mean, it's my fault. I guess I kind of wrote it, but yeah, I'm interested. We'll see how this shakes out. So yeah, I'm excited, and it's cool to play 2 weeks in a row. I feel it's nice. It changes everything. It's really a big change. Like it feels like I've had much less time to like digest and come to peace and then daydream. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects things.
Well, hopefully you were at least a little bit prepared beforehand, but...
Yeah, no, I was definitely prepared, but it's like, I don't know, it's a different... I don't know. It's like when you sleep, there's like levels of REM, right? I feel like I didn't get, I don't know if I got as much deep REM as I usually get about the game. So.
Okay. Well, we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. And
yeah,
I think we have a 2 week gap till next game. So that's where we're at. Okay, right. Judd, you want to take it away because we wrapped up last time nice and even. So it's on you to open us up.
Yeah. So you've been in what formerly was known as the Rowan Tower or the Rowan House, that is now called the Justice Tower, and you got to try out the office with a brand new board for putting up all the info, and you have an administrative clerk named Ishmael Comber. Who's very earnest, just out of the Deskball Academy, political science student who's ready to serve you and get your coffee and do your paperwork. And I'm using a very like dated version of an administrative clerk, like Dickensian, because I mean that's what my mother did, and that's what I've done. So I hear you. It's not what I think administrative clerks really do. And
oh no, I'm just speaking from Draw's perspective. Having somebody fetch him coffee is like unreal. Right. He like tests it because he's suspicious.
Right. And then it's weird because all of the investigators and all of the inspectors and their liaisons are all in the same building suddenly. You're not spread out all over. Like the only times that you all really saw each other, so the liaisons never see each other. The investigators sometimes get together for dinner. I think Maya has been there once. So she has an idea of who these folks are. But it's a different thing when you're all together. Like it's not like your cases necessarily, sometimes they would, but they haven't yet gone over to each other. So it is an odd thing when the head inspector calls you both into her office.
Does the head inspector have a name?
She does. Her name is Cyrene Colburn. And I'll put it in our dramatis personae, that the Google Doc we have. And yeah, I picture her played by a current day Angela Bassett. Her office is still in boxes when you like are getting in. Like there's stuff everywhere, and some like the details you can pick up seem to be that she's from the Dagger Isles and that she spent a lot of time on ships. And she welcomes you in and says, "I'm sorry for the mess. I'm just getting moved in. This I just got this post." Drav, Inspector Tui, please come in.
Maya takes up her hat and
Same.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, she's wearing like a dapper high collared suit, and she has a table for like sitting with her investigators apart from her desk. So it's like she has her front desk, she has her desk where she actually does work, and then kind of the office is big enough because it's a repurposed noble house skyscraper castle. That there's actually like a round table where all of you can kind of sit comfortably and like go over cases. She says, "I've gone over your case files and it's really excellent work. At some point, I would like to talk about the asterisks on the end of the Ghoul case and maybe talk about getting that erased, but not today. Today, I've got a bomb that went off in Gaddock Station, and it wasn't a terrorist threat. It was a gang war. It looks like a bunch of gangs are not a bunch of gangs. It looks like every gang that has a name is sided up on one side or the other and is at war. I've gone to the liberty of putting together a board," and she shows you like a board, with names on it, and it's got why is that there? It's got the Silver Nails, the Gray Cloaks, and the Bill Hooks on one side. And then it's got the Crows, the Wraiths, the Lost, and the Dimmer Sisters on the other. And then in the middle, in kind of unaligned factions, are the Grinders and Ulf Ironborn, who are Skav gangs, the Lampblacks and the Red Sashes, who just got done with a war, and then Lord Skurlock is on there as his own faction, a one-person name faction. And she says, "This is drawn together from various liaisons and precinct chiefs. I expect you to take it to your office and make it your own, but I just wanted you to know this is what the basics of what we're looking at. Some forces are getting our gangs sided up in a citywide war, and we need you to go out there, figure out why, and end it."
Let me get this straight, just so that I'm understanding. Do we have a mandate?
Yep.
Good. The question that I really have is
she pushes like that envelope across the table, and it's a familiar one.
All right. So traditionally, Bluecoats are the ones that crack heads and bring peace to the streets, right?
Right.
What's like considered the win condition here? Are we looking for the leaders that are inciting this? Are we looking for like the originating cause and trying to cease it? Like, what's the kind of, like, what's our goal?
If you think putting someone in jail can end it, then let's put someone in jail. If you think bringing people together into some kind of diplomatic meeting is going to end it, then let's do that. I trust your judgment.
But what you want is...
To be really honest, Trav, you're onto something here. The truth is that the Emperor does not care about gang violence in Duskaball. That's the honest, ugly truth. The reason why this mandate got written is because a bomb went off in Gaddock Station and the Ministry of Preservation lost a lot of resources. Enough resources where in the coming months there are going to be food shortages.
Someone very unwisely blew up a train, is what you're saying. Probably from Imperial City.
Someone blew up a train to get at someone else. and it's affecting industry. And that's why we got a mandate. The good news is it's an excuse to do some good. If you want to marshal some blue coat forces, let's try to do that. But I think you know how difficult that's going to be. I've got another issue. I've got a bunch of liaisons all running around helping their inspectors. So I've got another thing I'm going to drop on the table here, Drav, and I'm not looking for you to answer right now as you mull this over. I need someone to be a liaison sergeant. There's a stipend, there's a raise.
I don't say anything, but internally, Drav is like, oh no. Did you say raise? I need a new apartment. So, okay.
So don't answer now. Think about it and come back when you're ready to answer me.
Yes, ma'am.
One other question, Miss Colvin.
Yes.
I presume you've taken witness statements or have likewise gathered evidence from the initial scene, or is that also upon our tasks to bear today?
That is a part of your tasks, yes. I have not done that.
Indeed. Any witnesses on the scene of the crime?
I can put you in touch with the Bluecoats who were first on the scene.
Very well.
But again, this one crime isn't the problem. It is, I think the war is the greater problem.
Indeed, but you know how one operates. You look at the loose threads and work back to the thick fabric of tapestry.
Absolutely.
Holds it
I'm
together.
definitely not telling you how to do your job.
I am laughing because this is like literally 180 from how the Bluecoats work. With Bluecoats, it's like find the one person responsible for the bomb, dump all of the scapegoating on them, throw them in prison, case finished.
Right.
I'm never gonna get used to this organization. Alright. Okay. We have our work cut out for us. Stop
Indeed.
a war.
Aye. I feel we have done much more ridiculous and unachievable things in our time together to draw off the show.
I feel like we're like walking through the hallways, like heading towards the rail station, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this should be a piece of cake, should it not?
I believe that the word investigator is a bit of a misnomer. It feels more like you're a problem solver than an investigator per se. This is not following the threads of a murder or looking for a particular murderer, which is what I was really expecting when you guys got a tower. It's more like they give you these broad mandates and nearly impossible large-scale tasks, and then they just expect you to do. That's certainly have your work cut out for you.
Indeed, and I feel it is work I could not do without your input. You're rather invaluable to solving such broad tasks.
Drop scratches his forehead for a second and then, like, asks you, so, I looked at the division of all of the groups on there, and it doesn't escape my notice that the division is rather keen in certain areas, namely the Silver Nails, who you have some friendships with, are on one side. How are you feeling about this whole war?
That is a good question. I find it hard to feel anything until one knows the root cause of it. I do not feel any particular affiliation with either side, but that may change. And if it changes, who knows? How about yourself?
Wars are tricky things. It's, they tend to self-perpetuate. When somebody takes a somewhat reasonable action in terms of the grind of the city, the counter action can be drastic, and that leads to a push and pull until a gang is almost permanently eradicated. most wars tend to be between two factions. They tend to not stop until one of them is not. So, the fact that there are so many, and the fact that they are so brazen as to actually harm citizenry, is very concerning. But, on the other hand, at least we have ins on both sides. He says, as if that's obvious.
I think, like, my can't quite meet Draft's eye contact, but asks, like, is this coming from personal experience?
Well, Silvernails or Severosi, you've shared bread with them. You can certainly at least talk to them about this. I don't know how forthright they're going to be. That's up to you.
Of course, any excuse to get the Mustang is a good one.
I know some people on both sides, so we might be able to at least talk to them. Although one of the rules of war is usually you put up your walls, so getting in is going to be tricky. But since we're neutral parties, we might be able to slip by the, keen eye, as it were.
It's hoping. I did notice Miss Colvin's operative phrase was "ended," so we'll see what we can do, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to investigate our bombing?
Yes. Hey, on a mechanical note, did we do downtime last time?
I'm pretty sure we may not have. I don't know. I'll double.
I only asked because I have one stress left. So
yeah, this doesn't sound like we downtime pretty well.
Do we want to say that that's clear? Do we want to continue the grind? How do you want to do that?
I'm okay with saying that's clear. If we just skip downtimes but clear ourselves, I feel like that's fine.
I think that's good.
That's a trade-off. I don't get cookies because I get a lot of cookies during downtime now, but yeah. All right. Cool. So
clear.
Time has passed. Wounds heal, stress departs. Let's boop. Trauma stays. Wow. Is it one of you folks?
It's me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone's firing off fireworks, I hope, or much worse things are happening, but I'm pretty sure it's fireworks. Yeah, it sounds like fireworks.
For a split second, it sounded like giant metal gongs being hit or something. It was like...
Yeah.
Someone listening to Conan real loud. All right. Cool. I am clear.
Likewise.
Cool.
It's good. It's like atmospheric background noise for...
Yeah. Somewhere in the background, a shootout is happening. Definitely.
So, Maya, and now comes the traditional discussion between the two of us, which is... What's properties do we want on the mandate?
Oh yeah, I always forget that. Good question. I feel like we had a brief discussion last time about what would.
Yeah, last time we decided to go with mastery, but this time I don't know how long this is going to take. This might be it might be worth getting a cohort actually.
Oh yeah, that's a good point because there's a lot of people in play.
Having muscle is not bad. The other thing is trainings might be okay.
Yeah. Any particular one?
I mean, if we're gonna get a training, we're gonna get both, and then we're gonna because we start with savvy and conviction. We just need to get force and personal, and then we're done, and we get 2 boxes worth. So it takes 2 boxes to buy a cohort, which means that we'll get effectively a gang that we can use. So a crew of Bluecoats that can help us muscle in on stuff, etc. We can get a task force. We could get. I don't know what else we could get. Hang on. I can look it up. I remember that we had the pardon. If we had a pardon in our pocket, that was a thing. But we'll get more of these as we XP up. It's just a question of what do we want to start with.
Yeah, good question. I wonder if a pardon. I'm trying to sort of forecast how a pardon might fit into navigating a war situation. We might need several.
Oh, you only get one. It's an imperial pardon. Yeah, so we can get a cohort. If we get one more tick, it'll become elite, which is good. We
Nice.
can get a cover operation, which is like how we hide our investigation. I don't know that that's going to be super useful right now. We're not investigating like a drug ring or something. And we can get an interview chamber or an imperial pardon. That's on the list. I think I'm personally feeling getting a crew, but I don't know what you're thinking.
I think a crew, just based on the number of people and the fact that it's like gangs with numbers, might make sense. Yeah.
I love that.
Let's get some personnel in. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Cohort.
So many times you can rock on up to a huge gang of people and be like, "Do you know who I am?"
I mean,
Or do I know?
yeah. All right, what kind of gang do we want?
Also a good question.
There's like adepts who do magic stuff. There is thugs who do punching stuff, I believe. I'll look this up. Let's see here. Yes, adepts, which are scholars, thinkers, occultists, and chemists. Rooks, who are con artists, spies, and socialites. Rovers, who are sailors, carriage drivers, and deathland scavengers. Skulks, who are scouts, infiltrators, and or thieves. And thugs, who are killers, brawlers, and roustabouts. If we're getting, like, muscle, like, sort of like a tactical squad, they'll probably be thugs. If we want to get people that can follow people around and get us information, we're probably going to want, skulks.
Yeah. Ooh, are you feeling sort of confrontational or sneaky?
Strash as a player, as a role, generally prefers information and tactical play, but Duskfall fights back against that. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with your gut. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, my gut was like, sneaky might be the way to go.
Okay.
Just in terms of being able to, sort of get all the pieces together in this. I feel this is like a sort of 1,500 word jigsaw puzzle compared to like previous cases that have been sort of 500.
The other thing that we can do is as we gain XP and stuff, we can also create experts. So if we wanted to have like a mortician or something, this is how we get them. That's all I got for you. All right, cool. And so do we want our cohort to be fearsome, independent, loyal, or tenacious? I would really like a loyal.
Yes, I would like loyalty.
Okay, good. Because there's a lot of money that's going to be thrown around here, and I'd rather have a crew I can trust.
Yes.
And they have some flaws, which is that they are... Oh, no, I'm just going to pick one for us. It's principled. They have ethics and values, so they won't just do anything we tell them.
Neat.
Yeah, if you have a principled cohort, it means that you don't have, like, a gang of bluecoats that might just accidentally kill people. So, that's fine.
That is super fun.
The turn coin of that is savage. Or you could have an unreliable cohort that just wanders off every once in a while.
but they're loyal.
I think loyal and principled. Does that sound fine?
Yeah, that makes sense too fictionally for like sort of what you'd expect from like sort of bluecoats, I think.
Cool.
Yeah. I've also been known to like make people regret having savage as a descriptor.
It's a lot more well suited for actual like Blizz in the Dark. It's a lot less well suited for, I think, an investigative game where we're not trying to be, you know.
I'm also not sure I'd want to play a Bluecoat game with savage folks, so I'm glad you're like Apocalypse World, I'm down for it. You know, if you like but like with this game I'm not, I guess is what I'm saying. I liked in Apocalypse World when a gang had a savage cohort and they like left someone behind and they were like, don't kill this person. And then they like turned around to walk away and turned back and they were like, don't eat any pieces of them either. And they were all like, what can we do? What are we allowed to do? So like, anyway, like that's the type of stuff I've done with Savage cohorts in the past. So anyway, I'm glad that we're not going to do that because I don't think cannibal Bluecoats really makes any damn sense, really.
Oh, that's amazing. All right.
That's the next case.
Seriously, you're no fun. All right, cool. Good. Wow, cannibal allies. All right. What's cool. So we have our mandate and we have some personnel, some boots on the ground. Shall we investigate? Shall we go to our scene, do our thing?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So like basically, do you fill out some paperwork and like send it into Chief Colburn and say like, hey, we'd like some Bluecoats taken in from different precincts who are kind of savvy and have brains in them?
I think it could be that the mandate gave us like, you may have up to X personnel, and I think that Drav like handpicks some people.
Awesome.
It's not like we can even have an interview process. Like if we get 10 people, then I'll pick 15 and have Maya interview them down or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a scene where like Ogre comes into the room and Drav is like, no?
I have gotten my trauma. I am good. Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Love it. Cool. So there's a whole portion of Gaddock Station that is roped off in rope that is painted blue for the Bluecoats, and yeah, it's an area where people disembark and goods were loaded and unloaded, and they're just not using that rail for now because a bomb went off, and it clearly looks like it. Like there is still, man, saying this while fireworks are going off behind me is just effing weird. I've got to say, describing a bomb site. Good Lord, my poor cat is somewhere hiding under something. When we take a break, I'll have to go like coax her out from underneath my laundry rack. Real life in gaming. So yeah, it's a huge bomb site. I think there are Bluecoats around, just there to like usher people around it, away from it, so that people don't wander into it and end up in the rubble. And of course, your badges get you right past them.
I'm keep one step behind the inspector and keep my eyes peeled. This is your show right now. I am not the observer roles of the group.
I picture in my mind, like, Maya sort of steps over that blue rope and then sort of makes a beeline to hop down, like, onto the sort of train track area.
Oh, nice.
without saying anything. Just sort of snoop, because things are bound to fall down there. Someone's bound to drop something. Well, it's also like even one's eyes peeled for like the platform level. I would love to go ahead and do an observe roll to see what I can spot at the crime scene.
Awesome.
And I have 3. I'm feeling pretty confident on a 3, so I might just roll that.
Yeah, go for it.
What's my position?
I can assist you with a. Okay. No, actually, I don't think I could have seen this coming. Judd, what's position / effect? Sorry.
I think it's controlled standard. I say standard and not great because I think a lot of people have been over this crime scene, and I think it's matter of fact, I'm going to say controlled low.
Oh, wow.
I think there've been a lot of hands and a lot of stuff moved, and it's going to be really kind of hard to suss things out from this.
Ooh.
I'm going to give you a die. I am going to assist for 1D, just to get you, just being an extra pair of eyes.
Sounds good. Do you think it's worth spending my special armor or pushing myself to?
Yeah. This is the case opener. We want to get something.
Yeah. So I'll spend my special armor to increase the effect from limited to standard, I think. I'll add a bonus.
Smart move. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yay. Thanks for the assist.
Maybe I noticed something, but I don't know what it is.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
As a point of note, if you mute in Zoom, you can actually just hit the space bar like a walkie-talkie key.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Test. And
it's not working for me.
Oh,
okay. I'll play with it later. Mute my audio. Stop it. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. Figure that out during the break. Yeah, you. Awesome. You are around the site where the bomb actually went off, and you find a Severosi charm.
Ooh, red.
Yeah, and it's like a charm you would put on something you're given. Like, good, what is going on out there? It's not July 4th. Come on, people. Goodness gracious.
It sounds like drums from here. Really like somebody just like tapping on like an empty filing cabinet or something. It's weird. I'm right near Cornell University, so I don't know if they're like welcoming the students with like fireworks. I have no idea. Or a marching band.
Or no, it's not a marching band. It's definitely fireworks.
Okay.
I would know a marching band. Anyway, yeah, it's like a Severosi charm you would put in something that, like a gift that you're giving to someone, or yeah.
I feel like my grandmother has definitely given me this kind of charm before on holidays or birthdays or whatever we celebrate.
Yeah, but like it wouldn't be like the charm in itself. It would be like the charm in a gift, so that it gets to you safely. It's that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. I've for sure received
sense?
I've received care packages from home with that charm in it. Interesting.
Totally. That's interesting. You get care packages from home?
Yeah.
I love learning stuff about your characters. That's great.
Not often. Perhaps it dried up over time, but yeah, I feel like I've received care packages from home. I'm keen to dig into that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll sort of show it to Drav and sort of expound on it as it seems as if it was rather an explosive gift, or like this is.
Yeah, I think it's like a tiny little brass bell.
Oh, nice.
So do you think this is part of the victims or the perpetrators?
It's hard to say. But the part of me that does not want the Severosi particularly involved.
I mean, the silver nails are on one of those sides. They are actually the big guns of one of the factions.
Which leads me to believe that perhaps it might have come from them.
Worth following up on?
I believe so.
Okay. Judd, do we feel like there's anything else to dig up here?
Can
we get a sense of what kind of an explosive device it was? Like, was it electroplasmic? Was it lightning striking from the heavens? Was it...
Oh, cool. Yeah.
What?
It was... It was like a charge they would use to like clear rubble in mining.
Okay.
Like really weaponized.
Sure.
From what you can glean from and from what you can tell from the blast radius and everything, it was probably in a briefcase.
So was it on the train?
Yeah,
Was the train coming or going?
it was coming in.
So the charge was placed outside of Doskville?
Uh, no, it was. So that's a good question. The train was like being deloaded so other people could get on it.
Okay.
I think so. My thoughts on trains, and let's talk about this a little, is that it's not like I don't know, New York City, because there everybody uses the trains and it's like everyone gets on and off. In Deskball, in this world, I would think getting on and off a train is like a huge privilege. It's really ritzy. It's like getting on a private jet, like not many people get to leave Deskball. If you remember way back, like Bajo Baj, literally, like, you came and were like, we've got an Imperial mandate. And he was like, oh, do I get to ride a train to Imperial City? And it was like, because most people don't ever get on a train. Is the way I imagine it. Although there are like rail jacks and like working class people who do, but that's because they have a very specific job. Does that
They're
scan?
working the trains. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
would imagine that like goods and services between cities have to move by train.
Yep. No,
And
they do. Those do.
Also, I'm shocked that there isn't like a 30 people to a car kind of economy class for folks that have to visit family and such, right? Like,
Right.
because truth be told, like if something happens, like I don't know how I feel about it being like prohibitively impossible for
Okay.
anyone to do it, but I don't know that it's maybe like likely. It might be pricey. It might be like
Yeah,
buying
I
airplane
think it's
tickets,
pricey.
right? Like it costs like $600 round trip for me to go to visit my parents on the East Coast. So
Right.
so it's not something that I want to just like, oh, I'm gonna go see mom unless I'm rich.
Right. Yeah. No, I think we're on the same. I think we're on the same trail. I think the people who would do that are like probably well-to-do clerks and like upper middle class folks in Charter Hall. But for the average scoundrel, it's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
For people without the proper paperwork and who are living on the downside, it's non-existent.
Okay. So that brings me back to the question: where? So you're saying the bomb was placed inside city?
No, yeah, it was placed in Duskball, and it was a time when things coming in from outside were being unloaded, but passengers were being led on.
Okay. All right.
I feel like there's a tiny worry in the back of Maya's mind that like she may have done something whilst under the influence of her grandmother, and will definitely go back to her apartment when she can to check the drawer of junk that she probably put those charms into.
Oh wow, yeah, that's interesting.
But I think she keeps that quite quiet and tries to push down that thought, because the idea of her grandmother having anything to do with this using her is a bit too much for her right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Gaddock Station is, I presume, closed because the rail is damaged?
No, there are other rails. Like, it's a big enough station that this rail is down, but there's another one that they're using. They've got a backup.
Okay. So were they... I'll ask some of the like investigators and stuff on this, like the Bluecoats and stuff on the scene. I'm just like, all right, so what car did this go off on? Is this like in a dining car? Is this like in a goods car? Like, was this in some suitcase on a train being carried? Like, what seemed to be the target? Because I'm trying to figure out like motive. If two gangs are in a war, you don't just like chuck a bomb in a train and go home, right? Like you're
Right.
either targeting a person, or you're targeting goods, or you're targeting something. And I'm trying to sort out, are they trying to shut down the station? No, there are other lines. Okay, so then clearly this train was the issue. Was it a person on this train, or was it like some piece of it that was important?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, the investigator who's on the case is named Krop, Krop, and
Bluecoat
yep,
precinct.
Night Market.
Okay, that's odd, but all right.
No, I mean that's where Gaddock Station is, right?
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yep. Yep. I had to look that up too. I didn't know where the heck it was.
I remembered it being in the south for some reason, which
Yeah.
Dunslow came to mind, but
Yep. So yeah, he says, what was their target? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
yeah, it's night market. Okay.
Any casualties or?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of casualties. A bunch of stevedores, a couple of clerks from the Ministry of Preservation. I mean, about a dozen people died.
What does the Ministry of Preservation do?
They make sure that goods move around the empire.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything from water to Leviathan's blood to electroplasm to paper. I mean, anything that you need to run a government, they move it.
And did any of the casualties have any known allegiance to any particular?
If you have 100 people, they're gonna have to document them first and then run their backgrounds. That could take days.
Too long.
Yeah. I don't have anything yet.
Also, doing deep backgrounds is complicated. Especially in a city that doesn't keep records quite the way we do in modern days, where you have a database.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have a lead. We can follow it. I don't know how far it's going to get us, but we might as well ask these people their take on the whole situation.
I agree.
Cool.
All right. So do we want to head to the Mustang?
Yes, I've never felt more hesitant about having a good meal there, but yes, we should go to the Mustang.
You don't have to eat.
Oh, what? I suppose not, but I will regret it if I don't have some of their, I guess I'm probably like a snake stew or something. Like
Okay.
some kind of desert animal.
It's up to you.
Yeah, so I think we've had a couple of different views of the Mustang. I'm sure your characters have eaten there. I'm sure Drav and Maya have eaten there more
Twice
than
so far.
just twice, but I'm sure there've been off camera meals. And so the first time was before when the Silvernails were out of town. The second time the Silvernails were there, and it was more like a biker bar. This time it's very different. A couple of blocks out, walking in, there are pairs of Silvernails on every corner, guarding. And then when you get there, there are Silvernails on the roof as lookouts. And the shutters are closed, the doors are closed, there's no music inside. And they and there are like guards with cavalry spears or cavalry lances and pistols at the door, and they like nod at you two and nod you in. And really the only people in are like known members of the Severosi community and Silvernails.
And me.
And Dravaron.
Boy, do I feel out of place. Maya, take the lead. I got nothing here.
I feel like Maya like sort of waltzes and sort of swings the door open, like that familiar smell of like, I feel like it's the smoke and like sort of quite a sort of heavy meat scent in the air.
Yeah.
And for once that feeling doesn't fill her with like comfort. And she probably like sort of wanders up to the barkeep or someone who is related to the establishment and gives like a Severosi greeting.
Yeah.
And we'll probably like lead in with like, I heard that well, I heard that there were tensions were quite high between several members of the factions here, and I see now that it is probably true given the amount of feet on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, things are tense among the scoundrel folk.
Indeed. We were lost at the bombing earlier today.
Oh, I don't think any of our people were anywhere near that.
I think mine just like sort of eyebrow raise and is like, indeed. Yeah. And then maybe like sort of slides over the bell. It's like are you sure about that?
He like looks down at the bell and says, my aunts and uncles have given me things like this in gifts since I was a little boy.
Me as well. It also happened to have been found at the scene of the crime.
Oh. Well, someone got a gift from a Severosi, I guess. Someone. Somewhere.
Indeed. I wonder if gift could be somewhat subjective in this situation.
Yeah. I should go. Let me see how bad the list goes for him. Oh, really badly. I don't think so. And you hear someone upstairs yell, Suresh! Yeah? Just checking.
You have company upstairs?
I mean, Suresh is a really common Severosi name. Do you want me to get her?
Please.
Cool. Suresh comes downstairs, definitely without the swagger of the last time you met her. And she doesn't want to sit at the table like near the window where you guys usually are. She like offers a seat in the back, kind of where they can close the door.
Rad. I think Maya like nods a greeting at her again, and I think just like puts the bell down and says like, "Look, Severosi to Severosi. I found this at the scene of the explosion earlier today, and I've been asked to inquire into it so I can put an end to the tensions that presently exist."
Yeah, they we're really not supposed to talk to anybody, Inspector Tui. There's a lot of pressure.
From who?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Suresh, we've been given an order to merely end what's going on right now. We've not been told to bring anyone in. We've not been told to wrap anyone's knuckles. If we can solve this amicably, whilst I believe that is optimistic, no one necessarily needs to suffer for what happened.
I mean, I didn't I didn't know it was going to go off like that. I didn't know. Not a not a fucking terrorist.
I think like Maya, this is right leading into the resolve roll. Other boop boop boop. Yeah, relate. Sorry, relate. I think she like puts a hand on Sarish's and gives her like a very meaningful look and says like, I know you're not. I know you never would.
Cool. Cool. Make that relate roll. I think it's controlled great. I mean, Suresh did not make it. Was not shy about letting everyone know that she had feelings for Maya, and I think she's clearly pretty raw about the whole thing. So I'm going to say controlled great.
I'll stress myself out just to get another dice. I got a 5.
It's controlled, so you either do it at a cost or something goes risky. Or we have to approach it with a different skill and relate's not going to get out.
Can we make the risky roll a different roll altogether?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to say make a risky great roll to notice someone sneaking into the room through the ghost field.
Oh my god.
Holy
what the
shit,
fuck?
this is way out of our depth. That's an attune roll. I will point something out.
Oh my god.
That's not observed, that's attune, unless they're crossing.
That sentence went like and like at a right angle for sure. Yeah, I'll make an attune roll.
Well, actually, let me ask this question. Like Judd, are they in the ghost field or are they stepping out?
They will be stepping out soon, so there's a bit of both.
In which case, it can be an observe roll. I mean, are they hidden? Is it just near?
Yes.
No, it's still probably attune. Maya,
Yeah.
it's up to you. You want to use your new toy?
Oh, sure.
I keep wanting to assist you, but I am so out of my depth here.
The person in me that wants to succeed wants to make it an observe roll, but I feel like attune feels like fictionally the proper stat for noticing someone coming out of the ghost field.
Yeah.
Okay, I will push myself again. What's the position again, sorry?
Risky great.
Risky great, that's right. Risky great. And I'll add a die, waiting for it to go really badly. Yeah, I got it too.
Cool. So she she looks at you and says and you can see in her eyes like she's about to spill, and she's like, listen, I know on paper it might look like we're in charge, but and then the assassin walks out of the ghost field from like a corner of the room, and walks out as if like they were aiming while in the ghost field. Then like kind of they step out with the pistol in their hand, fire, drop it, and then start to step back in.
That'll be great, except for the fact that I'm about to resist.
Yeah.
Here's where my stress goes. Can you describe the assassin for me, Judd?
Yeah, I think like
don't say average-looking woman.
Looking woman. Not an average-looking woman at all. I think a gaunt, kind of. I don't like steampunk aesthetics generally, but kind of like a steampunk ninja. A black trench coat, a mask for being able to, for surviving in the ghost field. Big round black smoked goggles, gloves, dressed for stealth and electroplasmic weirdness.
I think I'd like to resist that, and you can tell me how I'm resisting, but I think it's prowess. I think it's just Drav sees a shimmer. He like frowns, and then like right before the bullet gets off, there's a yell of "look out!" and he like there is a physical motion like a baseball pitcher. I think he just grabs the chair that he's sitting on and just chucks it like full on into this person. So
I'm just glad that Drav is branching out and not just throwing tables. Like this is a whole new realm for Drav.
Chair foo. I'm growing as a person. Let's do this. This is perfect. Here we go. I don't get any bonus dice. No, I don't. 5. That's 1 stress. It's my first stress.
Cool.
Not bad. So I would like to save Suresh's life here with a chair.
Yeah. Cool. The gun goes off. Smoke kind of fills the room. Not so much that you can't see, but that it's an element. And they're not reloading. They drop the gun and start to step back.
Cool. Can I tackle him?
You can try.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do this. I'm gonna assault the shit out of this person. I'm push myself.
Cool.
Yes. Yes, I got this.
Unless you want to assist.
If you want to assist me, that's fine. I will not say no because my dice have betrayed me so very badly. Judd, what's my position? I imagine it's not amazing here.
Risky low.
Yeah, risky low. Can I make this desperate standard?
Yes.
Awesome. How can we make this desperate? Can it be with my like hand halfway into the ghost field?
Yes,
All
that's
right.
exactly what's going on here.
Okay. If you want to help Maya now is good.
Yes, I feel like the ghost whip is probably an effective weapon for at least like helping to like keep this person in this plane.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, so like I go to tackle them, like they're like halfway into the ghost field, then we see like the whip wrap around a non-existent limb that starts like shimmering into reality.
Totally.
Yes.
You read my mind.
Let's do this. I still dig out a 5. I do it. But something terrible happens. Judd, tell us what we've won.
Yeah, I think you jump them and pin them, and I think you're very single-minded, right? And I think you kind of tunnel vision. You know that there's only one person. You know that this is like so you just tunnel vision onto this one person, and you jump them, and you get in what they call jujitsu is knee on belly. So like your knee is like on their sternum. And you've got them on the ground, and you've got good control, and you're in a good place. And you look up, and you're in the ghost field. And
that's potentially lethal.
Yes. And you realize that you're having some trouble breathing, and you look. Yeah. And when you look at Maya and Suresh, they're not there, but where Maya is a totally different woman, like wreathed in like a violet aura.
I don't have time to deal with spooky ghost bullshit right now, so I'm going to try a Hail Mary here.
Awesome.
You are in the ghost field is a great fucking desperate complication, which is, you said I have control of this person, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I rip off their mask and throw it away. Because if he can't breathe, he's going to pull me out with him.
Nice.
He knows how to get in and out. I don't, so I need to hitch a ride here. I've got no options. You tell me what I need to roll, but I don't have the skills.
Yeah. I think that's a real baller move. Cool. Yeah, you rip his mask off, and he says, "Idiot!" And then, that's like the last breath he has, because he starts to breathe in whatever the F this is. and his body starts to shake. And I think he goes to his wrist and turns a dial, and you both phase out of the ghost field back into the room.
Is there a roll I need to make to like hang
Yeah.
on here, or if you want, it can just be a resistance roll. But
Yeah, I think you need to make a resistance roll from passing out.
yeah, I'm down with this. I think I am doing that. So you tell me, and you can feel free to tell me if I take any harm from this, because theoretically on a desperate action you can take level 3 harm, but you're stuck in the ghost field is totally a plausible thing.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna take 2 more stress, and you tell me how I'm feeling.
I think you've got. I think you've resisted it down to a level 2 harm, ghost field shock.
Cool. I think. Nope. I'm gonna spend my natural born police armor, which is, I keep leaving this special thing marked, but I mean we just started the case, so I haven't used it yet. But I think it's just to special armor this, right? Like, this kind of wild action is 100% in Drop's wheelhouse, and I think that also, potentially, at the time that I come out, like, it might be steaming. Like, I imagine the ghost field is incredibly cold, and also incredibly, like, filled with lightning for some reason. And so, like, I feel like, particularly, like, when I grab the guy, right, like with his steampunk armor or whatever, you know, like and the wrestling was happening, like when we come out, like there's almost like that smoke of like if you were dunked into like liquid CO2, right? Like you've got the special effect thing going off, but also I think there's probably still arcs of lightning and stuff, and the thing that's keeping me together is the wards that I wear when I ride the horses.
Awesome.
So I think that's probably what saves me from just getting aced here. So I'm going to reduce that down to level 1 harm.
Cool.
We'll call that,
and I think there's this loud visceral popping as the wards like soak in that energy and then can't contain it because they're just really simple and just pop 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 pop. As like pieces of tin and silver and brass and glass break from like direct ghost field, interference. But like, yeah, you're upright, knee on this guy's chest. His mask is somewhere out in the ghost field where you tossed it, and but I don't think we don't lose that position, right, where you've got him under your control. And where you look back at where the violet woman was, and it's Maya again.
Again, we'll deal with that in a hot minute. We've got a suspect. Maya, Suresh, take it away. I'm mostly just controlling this guy. I think like I like pin his neck and like pin one of his hands so that he's like not hitting me, and I just take a moment to catch a breath because like I haven't been breathing for like a good 30 seconds here. Like I exhale some mist that fades into nothing.
I feel like Maya probably yells something in Zivarosi that's to the effect of like, "I'll drown you in the iron hook water tower myself," you know. And I think she's just keen on like sort of like holding this guy up, taking him somewhere where she can hopefully beat the shit out of him and question him.
Okay.
Are we allowed to take him? Like, what is Suresh's reaction to this whole situation? Right?
Oh yeah, what is Suresh doing?
Yeah, Suresh is in shock. Someone just tried to shoot her, and she's like, no, guys. There's no way he's walking out of here. He just tried to put a bullet in me.
Well, we can talk to him here if you like, but either way, I'm going to talk this like Zivarosi expletive for something awful.
What does the armor look like? Like, does the armor look like?
It does not look Spirit Warden. No, it is. It is. It's of a It's definitely lighter and made for movement. Whereas the Spirit Warden stuff is like looks like like it looks like we're gonna square up and we're gonna like take these feral ghosts on straight on. This looks like something you would wear if you're trying to avoid detection.
So it's not the heavy, like, we walk on the outsides of the train's railjack armor. It's not.
No. It's like
it doesn't look like piecemeal prototype. I welded this together in a basement over the course of 3 weeks kind of stuff, right?
It looks really good.
Oh, we may have just screwed up, but that's okay. I think I'm just like leaning against the wall. You take the lead. You deal with Suresh. I'm just gonna make sure this guy doesn't run away or clock again.
Oh yeah, I think just the Resh, like Maya just fixes her with this look of like sheer conviction and says like, we can talk to him here if you like, but I'm going to talk to him. And he will tell us everything that he knows. And from then on, I don't give a shit what happens to him.
Yeah. Suresh says, that scans. Good. Or, you know, that horse trots. Or whatever.
Severus is saying is.
Yeah.
Is there a room we can take you to? Or we can do it here if you wish, but I feel it may...
This room's fine. The Mustang is not really open for business right now.
Very well. I think like Maya looks to Drav and motions to like a booth or something, or somewhere where we can throw him down into and talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, you're in like a back room. So
rad.
Suresh took you like to a back room where she could close the door.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Like, yeah, you're pretty on your own.
Excellent. Then...
the only thing that's like there's a broken chair that that dropped through at someone, but other than that, the room is tip top.
Excellent. I feel like we had that shot of like the sort of 6.5-foot woman like towering over Drav and this guy, and she just looks at him with her violet eyes and says like, let's talk. And yeah. Is he responsive?
You hear yeah, I mean he's responsive. He's like, what do you want to know? Throw me an iron hook. Suresh says, oh, you'll be lucky to make it to Iron Hook.
Oh my gosh. Literally everything. Why are you here? Who sent you? Why on earth would you take a shot at this woman who like sort of gestures to Suresh? I think like Maya can guess, but like just start talking. I can roll a question.
Yeah.
Roll if that makes sense.
Yep.
Right. It's like Maya's just like too angry to like.
This is tough. We don't have a lot of leverage. I don't know what our position is, Judd.
Controlled low.
Okay.
Interesting. Ooh. I have 4 stress left. I don't.
Well, we can trade position for effect, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I can. I think. I think that first we start by showing our hand, and we're like, look. Like a controlled situation is like, please tell me what you know, right? And like we have a conversation where we like grill him, and like we try and like find disconnects in his story and make him nervous. But this dude walks through the ghost field. I don't think we're gonna get a whole ton. So like maybe we just like take the next step, and we're like, let's see where like his priorities are. So you can just be like, look, you think that we're gonna throw you an iron hook? That's plausible if there aren't people blowing up fucking rail stations yesterday or this morning or whenever that happened. It's like right now we're in the middle of hostile turf. We're dealing with one of the gangs here that you just tried to assassinate. And if you think that we have the power to throw you an iron hook and take you through their lines, then you've got another thing coming. Now, we can try to protect you, but we need to know why we need to try and protect you. And life imprisonment is not a good enough reason.
Cool.
I like it. I can also push myself to impress onlookers with authority as a nation of the Imperium. I don't know if that's also a route to go.
Slamming a giant Imperial seal in front of this man's nose.
Yeah.
I worry he may be an Imperial assassin to begin with, but we'll see. All right, let's play your cards. I mean, we got nothing to lose. This is our big lead here. This could break the case wide open.
Maybe that's it then. Maybe it's like a shot of like sort of Maya like looming over this gentleman, like sort of pulls out the Imperial Mandate and sort of lets it hang in front of his face. Is like, yeah, you'll be lucky if you make it to Ironhook.
Awesome.
And that move causes them to hesitate and reconsider their actions. Yeah.
Let's make that roll.
Okay.
Controlled low. I think we're still there.
It's not risky standard yet. Okay. Do you want to push? For effect?
Oh, did you want to? Oh, you wanted to shift it? I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Because like,
yeah.
Controlled low is like, please tell us what you want. Risky standard is like, or we'll give you to the silver nails. Like,
right, got it.
We can't stop them. There's only 2 of us. We're not even going to try unless you give us something.
Cool. Risky standard. Let's do it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh, hey. It's good. Sorry, when I saw your faces, I was switching the screen over so that everyone could see the rolls, and I was like, is it bad again?
Wow.
Okay.
So he was acting kind of hard, and then he looks around, and like the Imperial Seal sinks into him, and Suresh. And if you had rolled a 5, I would have had him demand to be like taken into custody so he's not left here. But he doesn't even have the presence of mind to do that. He breaks. And he's like, I'm just a burglar. I'm not an assassin. And he like literally turns to Suresh and says, I'm really sorry. I got pressured into this job. It's not my usual thing. I'm with the Wraiths.
That's the Silkshore crew, isn't it?
We've done some jobs there, sure. Silkshore and Night Market mostly. We steal fancy shit, man. We steal from rich people. I'm really sorry, but this war thing has got everybody kind of crazy, and we felt like we had to do our part. And then the dimmer sippers rigged me up in this thing, and here we are. What do you want to know? I'll tell you anything.
Why is there a war? What are you fighting over? It's not turf. The Silver Nails don't go to Nightshore, to Silkshore or Night Market.
I mean, talk to Suresh about that. It's not personal.
I give Suresh a serious look.
Yeah. Suresh looks down, and then this guy says, the Race, the Crows, the Dimmer Sisters, the Lost on one side, the Silver Nails, the Grey Cloaks, the Billhooks, the Foghounds on the other. It's not about those guys. It's about the people above them. The people above us, I don't even think they have a name. And if you look at the map, it makes sense. There are all these weird little dens and operations that we never really knew who did it, who ran them. We assumed they were kind of independent operators, but there are no independent operators. The people who we're working for, they're not seen. They're unseen. We don't know who they are. We just know that they have so much money. I mean, they spend coin like other people breathe. And there's something going on between them and the other group that's over the nails.
I give Suresh a look. I'm like, you ready to fucking give us a name now?
It's the fucking Hive.
The Merchants?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's why they had you plant a bomb, right? And like Suresh is like, I didn't know it was a fucking bomb. They said it was going to kill one person, an enemy of the Hive. No, it didn't kill a fucking enemy of the Hive. It drove food prices in when the Hive has a huge load of food coming in so they can get more money for the war. That's what wars do. They fuck up money. I don't know what's going on exactly. I don't know exactly why we're at war. I just know that there are these two huge groups over us, and they're pushing everyone to get in or get out of the scoundrel game. I mean, the pressure is ridiculous. I don't know how much longer the Lampblacks or the Sashes are going to be able to sit out of it. The only reason why we haven't gotten the Scovs involved is because we're not sure if they're going to be a liability or not. I mean, next steps has got to be, I mean, the next war steps. I mean, I'm not a war guy. I'm a sneak guy, but I keep my eyes open. They're going to go after the weak ones at the edge of the herd, you know, just like a pack of wolves. The foghounds, the lost. They're going to go after the weak ones.
Maya?
This is what happens when you put too many people like this in one place.
They form into invisible armies and start wars?
Yes.
Ah.
Well, that is one option.
I haven't really uncovered the why yet. I just know there's a lot of pressure right now.
Sounds like the Y is very financially motivated, much like everything else in this city.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I test the waters very briefly. I just say like, all right, so I'm looking at Suresh, and I'm like, can we avoid further bloodshed here today?
He tried to put a bullet in me, Drav.
I mean, yeah, he did, but he didn't.
You're gonna need to.
Yeah, all right. I got a different leverage. I'm like, look, I was gonna hit you up for medical treatment, but if I have to, I'm gonna call in. I saved your fucking life. Maybe you can let this one go.
Nice.
Let's make that a relate.
Cool. Controlled standard.
Oh shit! I was about to roll Maya. I was like, wait, why is my relate lower than I thought it was? There. Controlled standard. I think I'm 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is good. Don't feel me now. There it is. There's that 6. Come on, Suresh. You got an inspector and a cop. You really want this body to show up?
Take them.
Do you think that bell is not enough? Oh, all right.
Stop. Get this asshole out of my sight.
Of course.
Hand on back of neck. Get ready to march out of a room. 3 people walk in, 4 people walk out. Huh. So, this is bad.
This is very bad. We're just gonna exit this place, right? Like, we're not gonna hang around here too.
Nope, we are
Yeah.
gone. If I need to, I don't know what the cab equivalent of Doskval is, but I will get us what we need to transport this this person back to base.
I mean, you can get a gondola, you can get a cab.
That's good. Let's grab a gondola. And just because I don't think he's gonna be swimming in a metal steampunk outfit very well. Yeah. This is so the one thing, hilariously, I did not prep for these because these were not factions on the list. But I think Drav knows shit all about the unseen because they're way above his pay grade. They're a rumor. They're like that name is a whisper, right? And all he tells you is that there's some group, nobody knows their name. That's all he's got. They're powerful, but
Yeah.
It's
Kaiser Soze, yeah.
The Hive, it's Kaiser Soze, right? Yeah. But, like, the Hive, they're just merchants as far as I know. They're very cutthroat merchants, so they're willing to use, like, nasty tactics, but I don't, like, Draft just says, like, like, back in my day, we moved some goods for him, too. Like, they're just people looking to make a buck. They've got really powerful ships and really powerful investments. They've got a lot of money and a lot of pull. But I don't know a lot about them other than they use, like, an insect of some sort as a symbol. That's why they're called the Hive. But they didn't strike me as this violent. Who knows, though? When a gang war starts, it gets nasty. I don't have any leads on these people. I don't have any names. I don't have any connections. We're gonna have to start that board from scratch, and maybe that's a downtime set.
It's a good thing that we actually got some people to help us out with this mandate.
Yes, and we will probably need to get more. So, yeah. All right, cool. Do you have... All right. So I think we bring this guy back. We make sure that he's not in a magical I can escape into the ghost field suit. We make sure he's in irons, and what's he in irons for? Attempted murder. Actually, I don't know. What do we want to book him under?
Oh my gosh. I think there's a lot of options. Oh yeah. I mean,
You could also like hit him with illegal electroplasmic manipulation.
Yeah, but that gives him to the spirit wardens, and I don't do that to anyone that I don't want to die badly. I mean, they do. They'll burn him for that. So, like,
yeah.
I don't...
Yeah.
Hey, Travis has, like... He's like, oh, you're gonna get executed for, like, you know, like, doing something really bad? Yeah, you know, that's the price of business in Doskfall. But it's like, oh, you want to be handed over to the spooks? It's like, no, we don't do that to humans. Like, that's just wrong. You don't do that unless they really deserve it, you know? Like, they have to be, like, demon summoners that risk the whole city kind of thing.
That's legit.
Plus, like, attempted murder, it's like, we can still, like, sort of book him for that without getting...
I mean, we can book him for anything. We can book him for trespassing on Mustang premises. Like, what I'm asking you is, how hard do you want to be on this guy? Because Drav's like... Well, I don't really want to let him go, because then we're probably going to have to catch him again. But if we take the suit away, the witches are skilled, but it's still going to take them forever to make another suit. Like, what's he going to do? Pickpocket someone? Like, you know, we can just be like, get out of here, kid, and we'll probably won't get too much trouble out of him again. On the other hand, when you're in the middle of a war, taking people off the streets is probably not bad. Like, so I don't know if we book him on something minor, like admission of thievery. And then pending investigation, you know? That way he's off the streets, but we don't, like... I don't know how you're feeling. I mean, the dude did pull a gun on your friend. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I feel like Maya's probably quite raw about that still. So I wouldn't mind seeing him booked for something a bit stronger. But
so another option that I will put out there is that the wraiths have definitely been mentioned by inspectors and investigators, and there is an unclosed imperial mandate for several like noble family thefts that have gone on over the past years that they think are linked to the wraiths.
I mean,
so
we can book him for that, but if we book him for something little, we can also use him as leverage to give us an interview with the wraiths. I have no ins with them, I have no connections with them, so having something we can use as leverage to try and get them on our side might be useful, especially when we don't really have a play, right? Like, this person's not going to give up. He can't give us a name of whoever it is that's above them. Their leader might, but we need to convince her, and he's currency. So we book him for attempted murder. We book him for all the cases that, like, you know, all the thefts that have been happening against the nobles. He may never see the light of day, and I don't know that we can use that as leverage. So it's up to you.
I think that would sway Maya. She might have that moment of like, I really want to make sure this guy never sees the light of day again, but if Drama's like, but We can
But
then you're gonna get that sort of begrudging, like, well, fine, I guess. Like, sure.
this is when Judd says controlled no effect or like controlled low, where it's just like but we have leverage. Can we make it risky standard? So
Excellent.
all right, cool. So I think we'll book him under pending investigations for thievery at the moment, and
let him go.
oh god, no.
Oh,
he's gonna sit in the inspector's tower for at least. He's gonna cool his heels for a bit.
Okay.
He gets if I tell Ishmael Comber instead of fetching me goddamn coffee, if he can make sure this guy gets 3 squares, that'll be great.
Cool. Oh, weird question. Whatever happened to Cross Anathok from the first case? He got put into like jail, but not prison because he didn't want him to go to Ironhook because he worked for Ironhook. So is he still in jail somewhere, or is he being like moved from jail to jail?
Wow, that's a terrible fate. I wouldn't. Wow, that's a horrible question, Judd. Can't we just hand wave and not think too terribly of Judd?
Sure.
How horrible we are as human beings for now.
I was just curious. It just came up in my head the other day. So
We'll think about it and talk about it. I'm sure there is a solution, but that dude's actually dangerous. So
yeah.
I don't think the job would be quite as casual. This guy is like, I'm just a thief. They told me to kill a guy. I fucked that up. They even gave me a weird suit. Poor kid. I almost feel bad for you, but you tried to shoot me.
We also need to name this kid. I don't think we have done that yet.
Yeah.
I've got some names for.
Was he? Is he Akarosi?
No, it's a bad name.
Okay.
So his name is Andrell.
Red. Andrell. I'm curious to see how Order Correct's gonna fix this name up. Sweet.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so we have a rumor and some names and not much else.
Right. So how do we want to play this? Let's talk about sort of like our next steps in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to shake someone down? Do we want to follow people? Do we want to? I have to go talk to the Dimmer sisters anyway.
That's true. Ooh. Yeah.
Like maybe that's our next plot point is like we can interrogate them, see if they have more information. The of the factions on the right side, I just call them left and right, not right or wrong.
Not right and wrong, yeah.
The crows are tough. They're like lampbacks, but stronger. They have more control of the sector. The lampbacks pay them. And they may or may not have a ghost either with them or against them. The Lost we can probably talk to. They are somewhat relatable to, but I don't have any ties to them. They're also very low in terms of tier, so it's not going to be very hard to find them or confront them. They're probably not instant death to go up against. And I have no connections with the Wraiths. They're just basically like a master heist group. So we've got a guy that can get us in with the Wraiths if we need. He's currently cooling his heels in prison. I have connections with the Dimmer sisters, and I need to talk to them anyway about your particular ghost issues. The Lost are probably accessible. So those are the gangs on that side. For the Billhooks, we've met them before. They are incredibly terrifying. I don't know how you feel about going to talk to them. The Great Cloaks, I may also have an in with. I'll play some hard flashback cards, and Judd's gonna give me wicked smiles. And I think that I can probably connect us with the Foghounds. And you have connections with the Silver Nails, so I don't know if any of them have stronger ties to the Hive or more information about the Hive, but we can shake down any of those groups. So maybe take a pass on the bill hooks, but Grey Hooks and Foghounds we can push. And on the other side, we could probably talk to the Lost, the Dimmer Sisters, and if we want to play this card, the Wraiths. So, do you have preferences? I feel like our next steps are to figure out who the players are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Dimmer Sisters is a logical next step for a lot of, like, the reasons you just laid out, plus, like, they sent someone to take out the person who delivered the goods, so to speak.
They're also the most likely to have answers, because when it comes to weird shit, they actually are good. So, being able to suss out things about the unseen, they might be helpful. Most of the other people are either going to be suckered in, or in the pocket of, or clueless. They'll give us pretty much the same story the Silver Nails did, which is, there are people above us.
Rad. Yeah, let's go talk to the Dimmer Sisters.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, how much do you know about the Dimmer Sisters?
Nothing.
Okay. Okay, so they're probably the most... There's like half a dozen groups in Duskfall that have like agency with the supernatural. And of them, the Dimmer Sisters are probably one of the most powerful. They have an old mansion, and nobody's sure how many of them there are. There's all sorts of rumors that, like, they're just bodies possessed by ghosts and stuff like that. Drav will tell you that's not true. But because, well, ghost possession over time degrades you as a human. You eventually stop being human. Like, the ghost needs to eat your living essence in order to... These are things that the Spirit Warrens don't want you to know. So he's known them long enough that there is one in particular that he's seen, that he knows, like, he's like, nah, they live, they breathe, they've been around for so long that they're not just, like, possessed individuals. They are strong enough to probably, like, contain a ghost, but even that's dangerous over time. Eventually, that kind of stuff slips. So, they're powerful. Why there's that many of them, how they share their power and stuff like that is all part of rituals that, like, you know, I can't vouch for and I know nothing about, but basically they're arcanely really powerful women, and if you want somebody on your side that has magic, they're probably the most reasonable of the factions in Duskfall. Like, they can actually be hired. There are powerful magical factions like Lord Skurlock, who you have no chance of swaying. He will probably be playing you, and there's a good chance that you die if you go and talk to him, or become enthralled. I don't know. There's all sorts of stories. He's like a legend. Like, as a matter of fact, Drav is like, until I saw him on the board, I thought he was just like a fairy tale. Like, every once in a while somebody dies, you know, in the underworld, or some whisper goes off on a mad crusade and never comes back, and you just say, oh, Lord Skurlock got him. He's supposedly like a vampire or something. He's been around forever. Like, I think all the way back to the city's founding or something. Like, but he's not the guy that you want. I mean, he is the guy that you want having your back in magical matters. He's just not the guy that you can convince to have your back in magical matters. The Dimmer Sisters can be hired. So, like, if you're a gang that doesn't have, like, woo, like, you don't have your own whisper, they're certainly people that will do it for a price. So, that's the gig.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, cool. Sweet.
So what is, so we're going to talk to the Dimmer Sisters?
We will. After downtimes.
After the break.
Cool.
Cool.
After the break. Yeah, we could take a break too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I feel like we need to decide on what we're doing, because that'll also decide what our downtimes are. Like, I have to heal, so that's gonna eat up my actions for a while. But more importantly than that, if we're gonna acquire assets or tweak things around or do any number of things, then we want to know where we're going so that we can do that during downtimes. Just sort of how it is. All right. Does that sound good? Do we want to take a break and then do downtimes? Is that the plan?
That sounds good.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, folks. We will be back in just a few minutes. We'll put some time on the clock. And